All right, I'm here with the incredible Gretchen Wilson, of course, one of the stars of The Road. And I thought it was such a fun premiere on Sunday night. And Gretchen, I don't know if you can tell this about me. I am not the biggest country music fan yet, but I'm getting such an education about it all from The Road. And I thought it was a really fun series premiere. And so, first off, congratulations on the show.
Thank
And
you.
how much fun are you having being with everybody on the tour?
Well, it's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of happiness. There's just all kinds of emotions and feelings, and it's all just crammed into a backstage area. The beauty of this show is that it's never been done before. And I know people are going to go, what? It's a singing competition. No, it's not. This is something that you've not seen before because what Taylor did here, Taylor Sheridan, in all of his brilliance, he's done something that I've been wondering, why haven't we done this a long time ago? He ripped the curtain back and he's showing everybody at home what really goes on tour, what it's really like to be out there, not just the fun parts, not just the the flashy get on stage and everything's all hunky dory, but the business part of the music business, the real life sleeping at 75 miles an hour on a bed that's moving like this, and not having sometimes enough time to even get a shower because of performance schedules. And there's just a lot that the world doesn't know that goes on behind those curtains, and they're going to finally get to see it.
Do you miss any part of that, like that very beginning part of the career where you're
Oh,
trying, bless
so
you,
sorry.
bless you, Gretchen, where you're trying to make it, you don't know necessarily like
Do I
what's on the other
miss
side.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, it was just so crazy. The beginning of your career is just everything's getting thrown at you left and right, and it's like you're trying to field everything, and it's a lot coming at you. And so, no, I mean, like, I'm really happy to be past all of the beginning. A long time ago, Kenny Chesney told me that I needed to document everything when I first started. He was like, take a lot of pictures, take a lot of video, because these things are going to come at you so fast that you're going to forget a lot of it. So for me, being the tour momager kind of is what I end up being on this stage, and kind of a mentor on this show. Standing out there and just watching them going through everything that I experienced kind of brought all that back to me, and just, I really felt for them, knowing exactly what they were going through. I'm definitely a few years removed from it, but I remember all of those emotions and just how scary it really was. And so being there, I kind of felt like very motherly toward them all, because I have had the experience, and I was there to give them pointers, to help them to kind of hone in on what they needed to do to win, but also just to be there to kind of bounce those emotions off of, and to tell them, I've been there. I know how you're feeling.
I'm really curious to know about the second episode and what it's going to feel like. Are we going to see some of what that life is like for them on the bus and the touring aspect?
Well, I mean, I'm not in the editing room, but I can tell you that there were a lot of cameras filming all the time. I guarantee you that there is plenty of shots of the bus, the frustrations, I mean, I know I was there for some of it. How much of it is going to make it in? My guess, a lot of it. My guess is that we're going to see almost everything that we captured, because I think that that's what Taylor is trying to do. He's trying to do something that is so unique and so different, and it's not been done before, to where the viewing audience at home really feels like they're standing right there about to step on stage with these artists.
How much time do these artists have in between? So the first show was in Fort Worth, and then you take off to go to, was it Dallas in the
Yes,
second episode? So
yes,
how
that's
much time is there in between that first performance and the second performance?
I believe there was only a day in between, and the contestants are being filmed constantly. I believe they were being filmed 12 hours a day, every day, but one day a week for many weeks in a row. So there were rehearsals, there were meetings with song people to get clearances on different covers. There were all kinds of different, but that's what I'm saying. These are all the things that nobody really is privy to. Unless you're in this industry, you don't really know all of the things that it takes in order to make a show like that happen. And you're going to get to see all of that stuff. So yeah, Um, my guess is that Taylor is going to show everything that he can show,
Yeah.
because that's what he's about. He's about having a show that really brings people in and makes them feel like they're a part of it.
What types of things would the artists come to you and ask you for advice on?
All kinds of things. From as simple as, have you been in there? Have you seen how tall the stage is? Should I be wearing a skirt or pants?
Hmm.
To, what do you think of my song selection for tonight? Do you think it's going to beat, the other girls or the other guys? Or, you know, uh, do you think that I should stretch for this note, or do you think I should keep it here? Do you think I should play my guitar, or since the other artists that I'm competing with are playing guitar, do you think maybe I should work the stage more? And they didn't always ask me. Sometimes I was there for rehearsal, so I would just walk up and say, "Hey, little pointer, there's X amount of girls left in this competition, and so far they're all playing a guitar tonight. You want to really own the stage and stand out? Maybe not play your guitar tonight." So those kinds of things, just trying to help them figure out how to stay in the competition. And that was also hard because, you spend that much time with people that close on a bus. They
Yeah.
became like a family within just a matter of days. They loved each other. They were rooting for each other. And so to love each other, but also be trying to knock them out. It's a sticky situation.
I feel like you must have gotten to have a really close relationship with a lot of these artists. And so when it comes down to having to make a decision on who goes home, did you feel like that you had an insight about these artists that Blake and Keith may not have known some of the things about them, where you could make a case of like, actually know that, this person that they just had a bad night?
Well, honestly, the way that it worked is that the audience, each audience that we went to, they were the ones that decided, based on that one performance that they saw. And that's
Yeah.
another thing that is really different about this. On other singing competition shows, they've got the same audience, and the audience gets to hear every performance, and then they get to really like this person based on all of their performances.
Yeah.
In this show, we're moving them from town to town, from venue to venue, so they're getting a different audience. So what might have worked in Fort Worth may not work in Dallas. And so, I feel like that between Blake and Keith and they had three different touring artists that were giving them advice and telling them but we were also together and on the same page with, we would sit and Blake and Keith and I would sit and discuss what we thought about an artist, so that we were not giving them different kinds of advice. We wanted to make sure that we were, all on the same page when it came to what we were telling them. We didn't want to confuse them.
Yeah. The artists that come out there, are they having to have a original song for every stop on the tour?
So I believe it was filmed in a couple of different ways. There were certain nights, I think, when we had a lot of musicians still in, that the time didn't allow for that much material. But I believe as we go forward, maybe even starting with the second episode, originals will be introduced, and that is a big part of this show too, because the originals are amazing. I mean, I've written hit songs, and I've been at this for a little over 20 years, and hair on my arms was standing up at some of this lyric. This is some really seasoned songwriting, and I think that the rest of the world, when they get to hear it, they're gonna be like, where has this music been, and why haven't I heard it yet?
Are you eager to go out and do this again for another season?
I would sign up for this again. Yes, absolutely. It brought a lot of excitement to my life. It gave me all kinds of ideas. It gave me a sense of peace. Knowing, I don't think that I had realized yet that I have graduated into this other part of my artisthood. In the last couple of years, going to the different award shows and being around the younger and up and coming musicians, I've been hearing them whisper like, "Hey, there she is." And
Yeah.
I'm looking behind me going, "There's who? Like, is Winona here? Like, is Reba here?" Because it's just finally dawned on me that I'm her now. Like, 20 years ago,
You
I was really
graduated.
whispering. And now I'm that person to some of these up and coming artists. And I don't think it really dawned on me until I was there on set really giving my advice, and them coming to me for just, this, that, and the other. What would you do if this happened? And how have you gone through this on stage? And it hit me then. It was like, wow, I have a lot to offer. And in country music, that's what we do. We circle back around, and when we've had our moment, and then we reach our hand out to help the next one up.
Yeah. Now, you obviously had to build your career the old-fashioned way, but how do you think as a younger artist you would have fared in a competition like this?
And that was another. I don't know. I honestly don't know that I would have had the patience. That they were very graduated, I would say. And we have, I think the youngest was 22, and all the way up to like 48 years old in this competition. Some of them kind of knew what they were getting into. Others not so much. Yeah, a lot of emotions, a lot of good times, and I'm really hopeful for another
Yeah.
season.
Okay. Well, Gretchen, thank you for telling us a little bit more about the show. Again, I thought it was a really fun premiere, and I hope you all have great success with it.
Thank you. Hey, you can check out four of our musicians have already are breaking charts on Apple's country with their original songs, so you can check that out too.
Okay. Thank you so much for making some time, and all the best.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.